So 366. Today we're talking about some standouts in yesterday's matchup between Montreal and Chicago, and we saw Montreal come away with a late goal there, and they were able to take the win. And honestly, thought Chicago played better for most of the game, and there were times where they had their breakdowns, and both teams had their breakdowns defensively. But I mean, for the most part, Chicago is on top of things positionally and habitually, and I thought they were gonna come away with a win and seemed like they were gonna push for overtime or maybe a shootout. That's the way the game felt, but obviously Montreal scoring at the end, they kind of ruined things a little bit, but Chicago played well. They had a lot of guys, and a lot of their top guys were their top guys. And Sam Rinzel got his first NHL goal. Connor Bedard got a goal. Frank Nazar had 2 assists in this game. Teuvo Teravainen got on the score sheet with 2 apples as well, so he was noticeable and very flashy and making plays offensively and transitioning the puck using his speed, using tempo. And Alex Vlasic looked like himself again, which is really good to see, really promising to see as well. And they had some other guys in the mix like Colton Dach was physical once again. Connor Murphy was a physical shutdown D once again. So those guys are pretty much gimmies. And it got very intense in terms of the physicality throughout the game. And obviously Louis Crevier getting in that fight with Caden Gooley to stand up for Frank Nazar on the hit was important. And Crevier did a good job fighting. And yeah, he did a great job holding his own in that fight there. So, but yeah, overall, just a game where Chicago's they're gonna want to forget, but at the same time they played well enough to be able to come away nearly with a win. So in the back of their minds, they've been shouldn't be too upset. I think they played well, and but hopefully they just continue to feed off of it and try to find a way to get some wins because obviously it's a bit of a slower start to the season for them, and they haven't been able to come through with a win yet, but. Hopefully sooner rather than later, I imagine, and it won't take that long given how they're playing. They just need to play with a little bit more control. There's obviously a lot of physicality in their game this year to start, which is really good to see. They're standing up for themselves as a young team, and that's really good to see and really promising to see too. But just making sure you're not taking the penalties all the time. I believe they had 10 yesterday, so but they were still playing good. They were playing right on the edge physically, and that's no problem. So as for Montreal, a lot of standouts on their side too. I mean, their defense core was really noticeable. Lane Hudson was Lane Hudson. Thought Noah Dobson was noticeable. Like all their guys who were the top guys were their top guys. So that was a big part of that for them. And then Zach Bolduc was obviously in the mix a little bit more as a physical player, but also a guy who can produce and kind of stir things up on occasion. So they had a good mix of guys who could score offensively, create plays, be able to move pucks across seams in the offensive zone and being able to move the play laterally a little bit and shift the play laterally. So they had some guys who can do that, and yeah, they played a really effective hockey overall.